Let's get started. We're going to give a quick rundown of the ways to get involved this week in June. Today's the 24th, Thursday. And sadly, we had some information come out of the Supreme Court of the U.S. that we're not really all pleased about, especially when it came to New York and the permitless carrying issues that are out there. The Dobbs Roe v. Wade ruling is still outstanding, though tomorrow, Friday, is the last day the court is going to be releasing opinions. So we were probably going to receive the opinion on that. We're still working on the bipartisan gun bill, which did pass the House and is now into the Senate. And January 6th hearings have wrapped up, and they will continue into July. They've gotten a lot more information, a lot more documentation. So there will be, we need to prepare and ask people and invite them in to actually watch and observe and keep an open mind about those. Midterm elections are still going on. Those primaries are happening now. We've got some coming up next week. And this is really where, after the primaries are pretty run through and they've selected your local candidate, if they were primaried, we really need to focus on canvassing, getting signed up with local groups, and whether it's your Democratic Party and or some grassroots organizing or a particular candidate you're interested in. You really need to start building out that opportunity for you to be there to canvass for them. So once again, Friday, we're looking at that SCOTUS opinion release regarding the Dobbs Roe v. Wade. And then Saturday, we're anticipating there's going to be a lot of demonstrations going on throughout the nation, especially surrounding the New York gun and the concealed weapons ruling that occurred, and also abortion rights. So be prepared to kind of activate on that if you need to. And then Tuesday, the primary election, we're looking at Colorado, Illinois, New York, Oklahoma, and Utah, with runoffs in Mississippi and South Carolina. Also, too, we are running our postcarding campaign. We are full throttle with those. We've got a couple really cool opportunities I'll explain in a bit to really take the opportunity there. All right, ready to activate? You will have access to this on our website. These are actually hyperlinks that take you to these pages. We did present on this last week, but since we're still waiting for that ruling to come out, it's very, very important that we are finding our narrative on how we're going to speak to people about abortion rights. What's the status state to state of services available for people? And of course, please support Planned Parenthood and NARAL. That is really important, whether you can donate or just follow, give them a like. Anything you can do to kind of boost those organizations right now is vital. Of course, Women's March, make sure you're on their website, that you signed up. This is where you're going to go in, put your zip code, and be able to see if there's an event near you. You might even consider maybe organizing an event. I'm in Indiana, and they've been popping up regularly. So keep on checking in. It could be 12 hours, 24-hour notice for some of these marches, especially after tomorrow. So do make sure that you're signed up with those to get those notifications. Next week, we are doing part 2 of our Facebook Activist to Changemaker. All of our sessions, part 1, is available on demand if you missed it. This is a great way on how to utilize Facebook, where 70% of people are getting their news from, that we're on there, and we're making sure that we're activating and utilizing and organizing properly on Facebook. Just a reminder, we host these leadership sessions every Tuesday, Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You can find all our information at buildingbridgesforamerica.com. Local down ballots. We need to support these progressive candidates. So we have a whole ballot of a whole slate of candidates that we're supporting. You can join us on that or find your local candidate. Sometimes your local candidate might be one of our endorsed candidates. Through our days of action, you're meeting these candidates. We're holding forums with these candidates. We just held an awesome one last week on abortion rights. So join us for those events. Boost up your candidates in your community too. Once again, opportunity to send postcards. This is a 2-part option. The first part is a relational organizing, where we introduce you to those concepts on how you're introducing yourself and talking to people that may be overseas or away from home temporarily, and making sure that they're voting back in their state that they qualify to vote for. So this is a really important process. These overseas votes, or kind of out of state votes that were legitimate and did qualify, really, if we add those numbers up, those are the margins that we were looking at for a lot of these elections elections back in 2020. That's going to be the same effect here in the midterms for 2022. People find it incredible when when people reach out to them and say, hey, it's easy and this is how you do it. And they really do appreciate it. So we get a real positive response when we're reaching out to these people. So there's that relational aspect. But then if you've kind of satisfied your list there, we have a whole database of addresses that you can send postcards to. And then in addition, we do the postcarding for local candidates. So when I say get ready, it means get your signs made, order your t-shirts, Democrats.org have some great ones. Make sure you're listed on those websites for those marches. Postcards to voters, huge organization in 2020. Please sign up for them. They will send you addresses too. Postcarding is a great entry level for people around you that are kind of nervous about interacting directly with someone about talking about politics. This is a great step into that ladder to get them actively doing something. And it's something very passive that you can do while you're in a Zoom, watching a movie, that kind of thing. And they're a lot of fun, actually. You can have a lot of fun. Postcards to Voters is actually offering discounted postcards. A lot of these programs now, what they're doing is they're just sending you a list of addresses. So make sure you've ordered your postcards, that you have a few hundred postcards available, that you've got your postcarding stamps ready to go. We're going to need to activate after these primaries run through. And then when we talk about canvassing, make sure you're checking out on Mobilize, put your zip code in, that you're signing up for local. Here in my town, Carmel, community canvassing is happening. Town next door to me, they are events. So we really, really need to make sure that we are doing those. In addition, we also have our Building Bridges Mobilize page. So make sure you're signing up for activities there. Thanks for joining us. Follow us on social media. We do have a Facebook group. We're on Instagram. We are on Twitter. Building Bridges for America. That's FOR.com. And make sure you're kind of following us there. So, all right. Thanks, team.